Hello, my name is Richard Stewart. Um, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for since 1996, and I want to share a story with you about my mother, something that happened to her. She had a stroke August the 1st of 2023. Um, she was airlifted to a hospital, and she lived in Troy, Alabama, at the time. She had was at her doctor's appointment and passed out, had a stroke there in front of her doctor in Troy, Alabama. They decided to send her to the closest hospital, which they decided was in as much as I want to say the name of the hospital, uh, I'm not going to because of, you know, I mean, defamation or whatever like that. But that's not really my point. Um, Even though I tried to go after the hospital, I couldn't. But they airlifted her to a hospital in Montgomery, Alabama, um, and I'd say about the second day she came around. Uh, Third day she was in ICU. About the third day coming around, and everything was okay. It seemed. My brother and I were there, and um, I think after maybe about day five, they sent her to the regular floor, like a the medical surgical floor, with the cardiac floor, but it wasn't ICU. It was cardiac med surge, and um, I was going back and forth. I wasn't able to see her. Her friend was with her, so I was in Nashville driving back and forth. And but when I came back about the sixth day, her behavior had changed. She didn't know who I was and was getting loopy, and I told the doctor, hey, this is not, something's going on here. And I pleaded with them to put her back in the ICU, which they did. They ran some tests. She was just going downhill. Um, they came back and found that she had, he told me, systemic MRSA. Okay. Now, here I am, I'm a nurse, and it's funny when it's your own family member, really don't, uh, you're kind of in shock, really. You don't really think about things. Your nurse doesn't kick in, it's your family member. And I didn't think about it at the time, but if I had thought about it at the time, I would have thought, okay, well, she needs a central line if she's got systemic MRSA. She's basically, and he used the word septic. Uh, and but they all they did was put an IV in. No, let me take that back. She was on cardiac med surge, and they put it. He told me she had systemic MRSA, and put an IV in, and they ran antibiotics, vancomycin, I believe, while she was on cardiac med surge, and she got worse. And then I pleaded with them to send her to ICU. So that's when they sent her back to ICU after she had been on vancomycin for a couple of days and still going downhill. And just her arms were swollen, and they were putting the IVs in her swollen arms and trying to kill whatever. But she kept progressively kind of got worse. Kept running vancomycin. Did not put a central line in. She got progressively worse. Then they asked me, hey, we've done all we can. We want to send her to the University of Alabama, and which they did. Um, we get there, they sent her to a, a cardiac ICU there in the University of Alabama. No central line still. She still has systemic MRSA. Um, She's going downhill. She's not responding. It's getting worse. Um, I kept saying, "Hey, can you put?" Because her arms were swollen, and I said, "Look, I don't think the vein. I don't think this is working. This is not working. Can you put a central line in?" So I asked them at the University of Alabama, "Can you put a central line in?" "No, if we put a central line in, so that's risk for infection." And I kept arguing with these people and saying, "Look, she already has a systemic infection. Why would you worry about risk for infection to put a central line in?" Well, she didn't get any better there. They kept running antibiotics. Her arm was swollen. Finally, they put her. I asked them to put it up higher in her arm, and they finally did. And for about an hour, for a little bit, she started getting better because they didn't put it in a swollen arm, and she was like her eyes open for about an hour. And I thought, she was there with me, but she got worse after that. They told her said they suggested she go to hospice, and she passed away. And after everything was said and done, it finally hit me. After everything, they should have put a central line in the very beginning. So I started doing some research, calling the hospital, asking administration at the hospital she was in Montgomery, Alabama, which where it started. And nobody gave me an answer. Come to find out, I was trying to figure out, is it protocol? It should be protocol. Why is if you have a systemic infection, why is it not protocol to put a central line in? Well, it's not a national protocol. It's not. It's per hospital, per doctor. So I just want y'all to know that realize that this is something that needs to be looked into as far as a national protocol for a central line. If it is protocol and it's supposed to be national protocol in a hospital and they didn't do that, then let me know and send me that document. Send me the thing that says it's supposed to be a national protocol so I'll have a leg to stand on legally. Because otherwise, I mean, she wasn't getting enough antibiotic to kill the MRSA. So that's the story of my mother. And I don't know if you guys have anything you want to share with me, or let me know if it is national protocol. If I want to lead me in the right direction to help make it a national protocol. For systemic infection, a central line. So, and what I mean by central line, anything other than just a vein. Like I'm talking about putting in a major vein. That's what I mean. Other than just like a vein in your arm or, peripheral, something central. So that's my story. I don't know where to go with this. I tried to talk to attorneys. Nothing. I tried to talk to people and tried to take my case to 4 attorneys. I also took my case to the Alabama Medical Board, and they couldn't do anything. So I just help me. If you have any information, please put it in the comments or reach out to me at jamesport2006@yahoo.com or jamesport2010@gmail.com. Thank you.